You know what? We were talking about these local races are getting really nasty, and there's, I'm going to play this robocall that happened in Orland Park before I bring in my next guest from Wheaton. But go ahead and play that clip.
To the parents of North Palo students, District 117, what are you going to do about racism and personal attacks of Arab American students and their physical safety? The district continues to employ a math teacher, Betty Patel, at Conradi Junior High. Yes, her husband is the mayor of Orland Park, and he publicly stated for Arab Americans to leave the country, and they do not belong here. Now his wife is in a position of authority, is a racist, and supports her husband. Demand the school principal Adrian Muniz protect your children from Betty Patel's racism. Call Adrian Muniz and demand all classes taught by Patel has a second staff member whenever an Arab American child is present. 708.
Okay.
Paid for by the Arab American Center Against Racism.
Okay, so this is a brand new PAC that started up, this Arab American Center down in Orland Park. There's a slew of Palestinian Muslims that live in that area. In fact, the 6th Congressional District has the largest concentration of Palestinians inside the United States. I mean, when it comes to Muslims, I think Detroit does, but when you're talking particularly Palestinians. And so they formed this PAC, and they went to Keith Peacock, the mayor of Orland Park's board meeting when the whole Hamas thing was, Israel was going after Hamas, rightly so for what they did to their people. They demanded that Keith put out some sort of resolution in support of the Palestinian people. He's like, no, I'm the mayor of Orland Park. I'm not doing it, first of all. And second of all, the Hamas people that you put in charge, you voted in charge, are the problem. He never said, leave the country. He never said that you don't belong here. He's never said any of that. And so this Arab group ran a robocall, like you just heard, against his wife, Betty, who works in the school district, and said that she's racist, said that you have to have somebody else in there with her if she's teaching an Arab student. This is how bad and nasty these local elections have gotten. This is beyond the pale. You can't make this up, that they would send a disgusting robocall like that. So, but that's not the only bad race. Look, I've been through some really bad races. When I ran against Sean Casten, they wrote the C word on my signs. Nasty people. Anyway, here to talk about that a little bit more is Amy Erkenswich. She's running for school board in the city of Wheaton, school district D200, which is Wheaton, Warrenville. And she joins me now because her race has gotten nasty. It got nasty 2 years ago when she ran, and the nastiness has subsided somewhat, but it's still there. Amy, welcome to the program.
Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
Yeah, great. Just kind of tell people what you've experienced in just your local school board race in wonderful Christian, so supposedly Christian Wheaton.
Yeah, just, a mom with a boatload of kids going through the district and, figured I could make a difference if I ran for school board. And who knew, that it was going to result in violent threat letters and, people coming out of the woodwork from communities that aren't even part of the school district to, come after me and make wild accusations. It's really been crazy. If you recall 2 years ago when I ran last, just the hyperbolic rhetoric resulted in me receiving a violent threat letter anonymously to my home. The Wheaton Police Department was amazing. They did a full-blown investigation. Luckily, we had found some similar language used on Reddit, and they found the guy, and the case is still pending. I keep getting notifications of continuance and continuance and continuance. And the guy is still facing 2 felony counts for threatening a public official, but that's not the end of it, right? So here I am 2 years later. I've been stalked and accosted by former district employees. I've been accused of a whole litany of outrageous things. I'm being called a Christian nationalist. 2 years ago when I was first called that, I had to look it up. I was like, what do they mean by, what does this even mean? I had to look it up, and I'm like, are you people out of your minds? I've been accused of wanting to turn our schools into a theocracy. Just the other day, someone on, I think it was the Nextdoor app, was saying things along the lines of, I want to get rid of the free and reduced lunch program. And I'm Amy Erkenswich's going to get rid of the before and after school program and turn it into religious programming. Like, where are these people coming up with this stuff?
I don't know. I mean, it's just incredibly nasty. I mean, Nextdoor seems to be the bulk of it, and I'm not on Nextdoor. Probably I'd be banned anyway. They wouldn't let me on because somebody monitors all that. It's not like it's a free, open conversation there. It can't be.
No.
But I mean, you even had people literally personally confront you at your own campaign event, come up to you and basically point their finger in your face in a threatening way. This man who actually wasn't he one of those folks that basically found out that he was some sort of sexual predator?
Upon speculation and belief, there were some historical court case evidence that the community came upon, and yet, despite that, he was in the classroom with our students. So, so he's mad because when someone. One thing about me is when someone does something egregious and it puts our kids at risk, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to try to help people, and I'm going to try to come alongside them. And so one of the reasons, that I think I was targeted in that is I had helped some of the community members, navigate the uniform grievance process here in the district. Because if you don't file, a complaint exactly properly, it's not considered formal, and basically there's no opportunity for remediation or any kind of official employment, whatever the case.
Amy, look, I only have a little bit of time with you. Sorry. I have one more segment I have to do after this, but I just want to let people know, look, right now what you have on the Wheaton Warrenville School Board is you have groupthink. You have all these people acting the same way, sounding the same way. There's no pushback. There's no open discussion about issues from what they're going to charge for property taxes to any new curriculum issues. There's no open discussion, no full-fledged open discussion.
That's exactly how they
That's
want
the
it.
problem. That's exactly what they want.
They want it, and they want to keep it that way. And so they don't want people like me. They don't want strong voices who really value, outside accountable leadership. They don't want that in there. And so that makes me even more, driven to pursue.
Yeah, so the unions have picked 4 other candidates. There's 7 on the ballot, and I'm asking people to bullet vote for just you and just for Brooke Gennaro, who is of the same mindset. You two women have been very involved. You've been on the Citizens Advisory Committee or the PTAs, and you are involved people. You deserve to be I want you to be my representative to that board.
I think that's a great message. Yep, vote for Brooke, vote for Amy, and honestly, that's our best shot at having any kind of remotely conservative, strong principled voice on the board. Absolutely.
Okay, that's all we got time for. Amy Erkenswich, D200 candidate.